What is up, my dudes? It's Pac-Man here, and today I'm bringing you my top 5 tips that will help you improve your game today. I've said this in the past and I will say it again, Siege is a super complex game with a very steep learning curve, and I'll be the first one to tell you that when it comes to improving significantly, it's going to take some time. However, with that being said, there are a few things that you can literally start doing today which will honestly improve your game instantly. I know that might sound unrealistic, but I wouldn't make a video like this if I didn't believe in what I'm saying. As always, guys, if you do enjoy the video, I would really appreciate it if you dropped a cheeky like and consider subscribing to the channel. But without wasting any more of your time, let's get straight into the top 5 things you can do which will improve your game today. So the first thing I would always recommend is before launching into any ranked match, spend at least 15 minutes warming up in T-Hunt. This is something that I bet a lot of you guys say you do, but don't actually commit. And the thing you must realize about this is that I can almost guarantee you that over 90% of the players in the top ranks, and those that play professionally, will spend an absolute minimum of 15 minutes in T-Hunt before they hop into a game. When you think about it, Siege is a relatively slow game, and most people don't get into that many gunfights in any given round. And this is even more prevalent if you die a couple of times in a row in your first couple of games. So if you just jump straight into ranked without spending a little bit of time warming up your shot and working on your aim, it can literally take you 2 or 3 games until you had enough encounters to feel like you're warmed up. And that's why spending at least 15 minutes in T-Hunt before you hop in will allow you to skip a large part of that so-called rustiness and get into it feeling crispy straight off the bat. I could spend 10 minutes talking about the different benefits of doing this, but just trust me when I say spending a little bit of time in T-Hunt before playing ranked will up your game almost instantly. In terms of what I actually do in T-Hunt, I just use a variation of different things. One round I might run in with Ash and try to warm up head level spray transfers. The next I might walk around with an SMG-11 going for 1-taps. Then I might use an ACOG. Then I might use a holographic. And I just keep doing this until I feel like my shot is warmed up. The one thing I would definitely recommend though is focusing only on headshots and trying to make sure that your crosshair placement is on point while doing so. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to make a full video on T-Hunt warm-ups. I'd be happy to do so. Another huge thing that holds people back from truly getting better at Siege is not playing for the objective. Most people hop into any given round and spend the first minute to 2 minutes literally walking around, punching barricades, sitting on rappels, or really just doing nothing to progress themselves. If you want to give yourself the best chance of winning a round, you need to be working towards an objective from the very beginning of a round. A bit of this does come down to understanding how you should be attacking a certain bomb site, or what your job is specifically when defending a bomb site. I would highly recommend working towards some sort of goal though, even if you're not sure what the best goal to work towards is. Because the chances are, if you don't know what the best way is to take a certain site, I can be pretty confident in saying that the enemy team isn't going to know what the best way to defend a certain site is. So just think about it. Whenever you hop into a match, if you're playing a thermite, make sure that once you know what site you're trying to attack, you know what wall you're going to try and breach. Once you've made your mind up on that, work with your teammates to help get yourself into a position so that you can get your job done. Same thing goes for defense. If you are playing smoke, make sure that you stay alive long enough so that you can deny plant in the last few seconds of the round. If you're playing dock, take the gunfights and try to make the enemy team afraid of pushing up and waste some time. Giving yourself a goal to achieve in any given round will help give you direction. And make sure that you are trying to do something productive for your team every single round. If the role that you give yourself doesn't work out, that's fine. Change it up slightly and try again. Playing for the objective and working towards a goal is essential in Siege, and changing your mindset to something along these lines will help you improve almost straight away, as you will already be thinking like a higher level player. So the next thing I want to touch on is communication and callouts. Do you ever wonder why there are champions that have KDs below 1, or why there are pro players who seem to consistently go negative but stay in winning teams? One of the reasons as to why this is that there is more that goes into playing Siege than just being good at clicking heads. I myself am a decent example of this. I know that I don't have top level mechanics or crazy reaction times, but I make up for that by playing smart and communicating well. One thing that you can literally start doing today, which will instantly make you a better overall player, is by communicating what you see and communicating what you do. When you're in a game, everybody is sort of doing their own thing, with their own sort of plan in place. And if nobody was to communicate, that is exactly what it would be. A group of 5 people all doing their own individual thing on a map. By speaking to your team, calling out what you see and what you do, you are helping to paint a better overall picture as to what the map looks like and then how you should continue. I can almost guarantee that 75% of the people watching this video are simply not communicating enough in-game. You should be always making sure that you're trying to inform your team of your whereabouts and what you see. And if you have people that aren't that good at consistently communicating, try simply just asking them, has anyone droned here? Or is anyone watching this? And so on. I always find that by instigating the conversation and asking people little questions like that, it can really help stimulate the communication for the entire team. Start focusing on communication more and you will instantly become a more valuable player in the team. This brings me nicely into the fourth point, which is droning. Good old droning. The thing that everyone knows you have to do, but for some reason everyone hates doing. It's like homework and study. You know that you have to do your homework and study for your exams in order to get a good grade, but that doesn't mean that you're going to enjoy it. When it comes to Siege, consider droning like doing your homework. Without it, you will very likely fail. If you don't drone well as an attacker, I'm telling you right now that you are giving the defenders a massive advantage in the round. It's really the main thing that keeps the game balanced between attackers and defenders. There are so many spawn peaks, corners, and little side rooms on any given map that defenders can take advantage of, and the only way to counter this is through droning. That is why you rarely see Cav played in Pro League, because teams know that with efficient droning, a Cav doesn't really have a good effect. But in the lower ranks, Cav absolutely runs amok, and the reason behind this is because in the lower ranks, people simply do not drone as much. I know this may sound silly and simple, but when it comes to improving, a lot of it is. How can you expect to play in higher ranks when you're basically not even playing the same game? Use your prep phase drone to help you enter the building and avoid spawn peaks, and then continue to use this drone as you clear out areas of the map working towards the objective. Bonus points if you have a team and you can get a couple of support players droning in entry fraggers. For a more in-depth look on how to drone and attack efficiently, check out my video on how to attack. I'll leave a link in the description below. Start droning today and I guarantee that you will win more rounds. Alright guys, the fifth and final thing that I want to cover off today is learning from your mistakes. I'm going to be completely honest with you here, no amount of videos on YouTube or time in game will help you improve if you don't learn from your mistakes. Albert Einstein once said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. This relates well to Siege and really life in general. It is literally so crucially important to learn from your mistakes and grow from them if you want to improve. The next time that you're in game and you die, take a second to stop and think about why you died. What caused this death? Was it something to do with the way that you were positioned? Was it the fact that you didn't drone a room well enough? Did you peek something that you probably shouldn't have? Taking a second out to think about what happened will allow you to consistently improve on a day-to-day basis. Literally, the next time you get into a game and lose a round or die, think about it for a second and try to come up with a way that you could have came out on top of that situation. If you die to a certain spawn peak, fantastic. That just means you never have to die to it again. You can add it to the library, and the next time you spawn at that location, pre-fire the window or avoid it. Done. I think if every single person playing Siege understood this concept and really took it on board, no one would watch my videos, and I would be out of the job. Learning from mistakes is crucial, and by starting this today, you can honestly become a better player by the time you get off games tonight. Alright guys, so to finish things off, let's go over everything that we've talked about. These are my top 5 tips that will help you improve today. Number 1, spending 15 minutes in T-Hunt to warm up your shot before hopping into ranked. Number 2, play for the objective and make sure you have a plan at the start of every round. Number 3, focus on communicating more in-game to add more value to the team. Number 4, drone a lot more than you currently add to win more rounds on attack. And number 5, learn from your mistakes to grow as a player. I honestly believe that if you go away from this video and implement some of these tips into your game, you will see almost instant improvement. However, like I said at the start of the video, improvement takes time and consistent effort. But if you are practicing in the right way and implementing some of these tips into your game, that improvement cycle will be fast-tracked. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and it really means a lot to me. But with all that being said, guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace.